How large did you grow the dispatch to? How many carriers?
I want to say over 200.
Over 200 carriers. How were you managing all those carriers? Were you doing it by yourself, or did you have a team?
No, I can't do 200 by myself.
All right. I was about to say, cut the broadcast. I don't believe her. What's going on? So tell me about building a team. Tell me about that. How that
I started off with the freight dispatch training.
Okay.
So what I would do, because a lot of people would go take trainings for a lot of different companies, and they sell them dreams. So I would take my students that actually do my training, and I would use them as interns. And then as I get people that want to, get dispatch services, here you go. Give them about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe to dispatch them. Now I'm going to also pay them. So now instead of them doing dispatch and they got to go out here and try to find carriers, you don't need to find carriers. I got the carriers. Learn to dispatch. Now I'm going to also pay you. And so most of the dispatchers, they work from home.
Yeah.
They live in other states. They work from home.
Man, you smart, man.
Thank you.
That's some good stuff.
Thank
So you train people to dispatch, then you employ them as your dispatchers, and now they're taking care of this large carrier network. So are you still dispatching 200 trucks, or?
Yeah, well, I don't personally do it.
The whole operation is over 200 trucks. What's the mix in terms of like the type of trucks that you guys dispatch? You do everything, or what do you specialize in?
Again, the semis, so your power onlys, flatbeds, dry vans, reefers, step decks. Every now and then RGNs, that's going to be for like your oversized freight, but mainly just your dry van, flatbed, We don't do hot shots or box trucks because I haven't figured out really with the box trucks how to get that freight. A lot of times they need contracts. Amazon is out there. They could sign up with Amazon too, but we mainly stick with the semi trucks.
Okay, got you. All right, so for someone who wants to get into dispatching, right? What will be your advice to them? They're fresh, they're coming into the business. What's the first steps they should take?
Gain knowledge. That's going to be the first thing with anything you want to do in life. Do your research, gain knowledge. And if they're looking at us as an option, they can go to our website. They can give us a call. They can, bumblebeedispatch.com is the website. They can send us an email if they have any questions. We're on YouTube, and we have a lot of helpful information at Bumblebee Dispatch. We talk about dispatch, we talk about brokering, trucking, pretty much anything in logistics. So a lot of times any questions they have, if they go on there, it may answer their questions that they have as well.
Got you. Where do you find most people stumble when they get into dispatching?
Most people stumble because they don't know how to get carriers.
Okay.
That's what anything. Everybody isn't good with sales, but any business you have to get your clientele.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where the sales come in at. Got you.
Okay. So now you build this trailer business on top of that. So you said you were renting the trailers for $600 a month?
Back then.
I was about to say.
Back then. Okay. Yeah.
So now it's going up
the price that went up because there's a trailer shortage going on.
There is a trailer shortage.
The other day I had one trailer become available. I sent out a mass, because they keep them. Nobody turns my trailers back in.
Right.
I sent out a mass email. Do you know I got over 200 emails of people that wanted that trailer? I also partner with dealerships here in Atlanta. The sales reps are calling me, Courtney, I need that trailer. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's kind of like with the housing market. Everything is going up.
Yeah.
So in the trucking industry, trailers, tractors, they're overpriced. It's going up. It's a shortage.
Yeah.
So which is good business for me.
For sure. Great
so
seat
that
to
was
be
back
in.
then. I don't want nobody to call me and say you got trailers for $600 because that's not true.
So what would somebody be spending now around?
You're looking at least $1,000 a month, and I mean it depends because like I have flatbeds that's going for like $350 a week. I mean it just really depends on the trailer they're getting. Dry vans are going to be cheaper. We only do dry vans and flatbeds.
Okay.
And step decks.
Okay.
We don't do refrigerated trailers at all.
Okay.
They're just way more expensive to handle.
Okay. How do you store all these trailers? Where do you put them? Well, they're usually out. But when they're not
they're not, I have parking lots you can store and things. I don't own the parking lots, but they have parking lots where you can store it.
Do you have like tracking devices on them?
I do.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Okay, so when you're starting a trailer rental business, let's talk about that. What provisions do you have to put into place in order to run that successfully?
Well, we do lease agreements. So we do like a minimum 6 month. I would say make sure you have a lawyer on your team that can go over your agreements, make sure you're well protected. And then we can do consultations on it as well, but it's really easy.
Okay.
I mean, you go out and buy the trailer. If you can find the trailer, we do a deposit. We do minimum 6 months. We don't do credit checks. So a lot of people come to us because you have to realize someone get into the trucking industry, a lot of times they exhausted all of their funds. They've got their authority. They put $10,000 down on a tractor, just getting everything up and going. And insurance is very expensive.
Yeah.
I've had a guy, too, out of Kentucky. We did his authority. He went to go get insurance, and it was $12,000 down payment for him to put on his insurance. Now, that could have had something to do with his MVR. I'm not sure.
Right.
I had a guy out of Florida, about $7,000 down. So a lot of times they exhaust their funds.
Okay.
And they can't go out and get a trailer. So we don't do credit check, and we kind of make it easy. We don't put you through all that red tape and things of that nature.
Got you. And you said you get your trailers from Werner?
I get them from wherever now. When I started out, it was Warner.
Okay, so how do you find trailers?
What is the truck online? Google.
You just Google trailers for sale.
Or
So next, how do you know what's a good trailer to buy? What specs are you looking for to know that this is a trailer that I want to purchase that's worth?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So most of the time, dry vans are standard. I need a 53-foot swing door. Some drivers like
Why swing instead of roll up?
Because that's what the brokers, when they go and get loaded, when they go to the dock, they need the doors to be swing door because they have the forklifts that drive in there. So with a roll-up door, you're going to lose a few inches because it don't go all the way up. So a lot of times if you see like the U.S. Mail, they have the roll-up doors. But with the swing door, it's wider. So now you can get those pallets in there like they need. The forklifts are going in and out. So a lot of the shippers and brokers require that.
Okay.
So it's the most popular one.
So you always looking for a swing door.
Correct.
53 foot?
Yes.
No 48s?
48s when it comes to flatbeds, but not when it comes to driving, because you need to make sure it can fit whatever amount of pallets. So 53-foot swing doors for dry vans.
Vented? Or non-vented?
No, I don't really do vented. Vented if you're doing like a lot of produce or things of that nature. I just do the standard dry van.
Okay. Okay. Continue. What else?
Okay.
What other specs are you looking for?
Flatbeds, they're simple. You got a 48-foot or a 53-foot, basically. Some have the headboard on it, some don't. It's really just the carrier's preference. But that's basically it. I don't do refrigerated because with the refrigerated reefers back then, a brand new refrigerated reefer was about $50,000. A used was about $20,000. I'm pretty sure those prices have went up. And then with the refrigerated reefers, you have hours. So you're running that motor, and a reefer has a motor on it. It's kind of like your car. You have to service your car motor. That's something else that have to be serviced. So as me, as far as renting that out, I don't want to do that and someone just tears up the trailer and then it's going to cost more in repairs.
Right.
So I just stick with dry vans, flatbed, stepdad.
How do you maintain your trailers?
Well, the carriers are responsible for maintenance. We don't charge a mileage. But however, when they bring it back in, we do take it to get a full DOT inspection before we rent it out to someone else.
Got you. Have you ever had any horror stories with renting out trailers to people?
Oh, several.
Tell me about one.
Yes. So there was this one guy here in Atlanta, down in Noonan.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking he mainly had a trucking company, so he wasn't a driver.
Okay.
He actually rented 3 trailers from me. Few weeks went by, I didn't receive a payment, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He returned 2 of my trailers, but the third one, he didn't. So at this time, I had to get a lawyer. I had to take him to court and actually take a warrant out for his arrest, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
And again, any business, you learn from it. So you learn different things of with the lawyer. At that time, I didn't have a lawyer on my team. Now I do. So it's just about growing. You learn from mistakes. But anyway, took a warrant out for his arrest. He didn't want to go to jail. And he had his lawyer contact me to kind of do a settlement, and he did pay me for the trailer. What it was, he had a driver. I don't know what happened between him and the driver, but the driver must have took off with his truck and trailer. And now if anyone has a driver, they have to give us their driver information. I need a photo ID copy of that driver to let the driver know, hey, Bumblebee owns this trailer, not the guy you're running for.
Right.
You know, basically.
Right.
Or we can get in contact with him.
Right.
You know.
Right. What business do you love more, the dispatch business or the trailer rental?
Well, the trailer rental, everything in trucking is under Bumblebee Dispatch. I love trucking. I mean, trucking is my heart because that's what, again, allowed me to elevate in life. I do have multiple businesses that I own now, but trucking was that foundation of it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So the trailer rental, of course, is easy.
Yeah.
You know, people just pay weekly. I don't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
But I just love trucking in general.
Right.